Hey, good afternoon. This is Spirit Journey. Today is September 16th, 2016, and it's a little bit past noon. And yes, I'm in my kitchen. I'm just making a late breakfast. Yeah, you heard right, breakfast, and it's noontime. Had a late start, but earlier today I was watching some videos on YouTube, and I came across information that I thought was very interesting, and the possible um, how this information could be used, and maybe is the foundation why this problem occurred. I was watching a video on a man by the name of Wilhelm Reich, something like that. He's a European. He was born in the Ukraine, and he eventually came to the U.S. He studied medicine. He also worked under Sigmund Freud, and Sigmund Freud is considered the father of psychoanalysis. And under his, you know, learning under him, he he branched off, and he took some of the ideas of Freud, and he went with it. He expanded his knowledge, and he studied about the different life force that's out there, and that certain life force could actually have healing properties. And this property he called orgon, O-R-G-O-N. Well, I'm sorry, O-R-O-G-O-N. And that that term is actually based on what they call the human orgasm, and that the energy that is released during an orgasm is something as a result of dispensing energy, and that the energy that is in a person is it has therapeutic uh, properties. And so he wanted to study this energy, this release, and so he actually devised this machine, this gadget. But in his studies, he learned that this energy it's all over. It's ubiquitous, and he said, "Hey, is there a way to harness this energy, to really study it? Like an object, and be able to look at it, and use it?" So he devised this object. It was composed in different layers, because in his studies he learned that this energy, when it's in organic material like cotton, things that you find in nature, that it absorbs, and he could hold it in. And then things that are inorganic, like metals, it has a dual property. It reflects and also attracts at the same time. So he devised this thing that it'll be in layers, like one layer is something organic, and then a non-organic, and replicated, in multiple layers of both organic and inorganic material. And he found that he was able to harness this energy and heal, because again, he is a physician. It seems like back then in those days, in the early 20th century, the early 1900s and late 1800s, that it seems like doctors were scientists too. They seemed to do everything. So, where I'm getting at with this, well, he he used this gadget to heal people who had cancers. And he found that the energy, that like tumors shrank, and they got better. So he also had made a device that was able to produce rain. He helped out a farming community, and he saved their crop. It was, I think, raspberries, some type of berries, and he was able to make it rain, and he saved the crop in that farming community. And Sigmund Freud and other people in his community, science community, got upset when Wilhelm Reich's study was published. and they just attacked him verbally. And in short, the government heard about him, and that certain claims about this machine that was able to heal. It was a Food and Drug Administration, and he had a co-worker that worked with him, and he had taken this device and brought it to another state, which was in violation of this court order. And so Wilhelm Reich and his helper got thrown in prison, a federal prison, and this Wilhelm Reich eventually died. So I started thinking, about this thing that can harness energy. Now, this this machine, I'm thinking, could be used for maybe electricity, your home. Energy is energy, things that can harness some power, and power could be used to do something else, So the implications of that, and I think that's why the greatest science community was against him, because again, back in those days, electricity, and just like you had this other scientist, Nikola Tesla, also a European, had his science going on and harnessing this energy that is, all over the world. It's like air, and you can tap into it. And like him, his work was confiscated, his lab was burnt down, and again, Thomas Edison's people who backed him, he flourished. So I'm thinking about that, and then I started thinking about, what was that now? It was the whole basis of doing this video. Oh, shoot. Something about energy. Oh, what was that? Well, oh gosh, I hope it'll come to me, but I guess in part that your health, if you can control, I remember about energy being a type of currency. Don't you notice that in society, everywhere you go in European-based societies, there's a thing called money, banks, and we seem to be imprisoned with this system. And I've been asking myself this question for about a week and a half. Where did money come from? How come we're dependent on it? Like we're dependent on electricity, okay? And money in itself is really nothing. You can take money, the dollar bill, and burn it. You can burn every bill in the world, but you're still going to need currency to get things done. To put light on in your kitchen, to do things, to power your vehicle so that you can go from A to Z. So with that, this currency, that I'm thinking that people like Wilhelm Reich and Tesla, that we don't have to be dependent on this currency, whether it's electricity or the dollar bill. We, are trapped in this matrix called money and currency. And people like Wilhelm Reich possibly had a way so that we can get out of this matrix of money and dependency. It's a world dependency. We're not brought up, the womb doesn't have like gasoline or money in here. You're free. You're free. You have societies on this planet, tribal societies, so-called primitive societies, and then they don't have a monetary system. They may not even have electricity. Everything is, of the earth. We need to get back. And I'm thinking with me in this spirit journey that I'm on, that somehow I want to totally break out of this matrix, the matrix even called money, the money system, this dependency on electricity. I want to get out of that and be totally free. Free like a bird. You don't see birds with money in their pockets. I think this is the key thing. And I want to study and try to find out how this monetary system of the matrix has been imposed on us. People, we have to really start asking us these questions and how to get out of this matrix and really live off the grid, from this matrix of oppression. I know this sounds weird and maybe crazy to most of you, but ask yourself, where did this thing called money come about? And we're willing to kill for it. People are dying. I've seen people fist fight over money, fighting each other. You know, merchants, two merchants next to each other, selling a product. Where did this come from, having products and mass production of products? And you better buy my item here, and don't buy from so-and-so. Again, it's about this currency. Because when you buy it, it's an exchange of this paper money or electronic money that we're dependent on, you know? So let's start to study where this phenomenon comes from. And once you're able to really capsulize it and analyze what this thing that we're dependent on is, we could destroy it, okay? I think that's the key to what I want to talk about, okay? So let us study, let us really analyze this system, this currency, so we can break out of this matrix, and so that our children and our loved ones could be born free totally. So please comment below and share your thoughts and feelings, what I had to share with you guys. And please do your own research about this European called Wilhelm Reich and Nikola Tesla, and, you know, to help break out of this matrix system, you know. So take care and enjoy. And please subscribe to Spirit Journey and to give me the thumbs up. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.